إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به وأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله عز وجل وخير الحديث حديث محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار أو كما قال. Dear brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, with the blessing of Allah Rabbul Alameen, the creator of all things, the center of all prophets, and the revealer of all truth, we are able to come into year 2014 again. We know that there's only two Islamic festivals, Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. They is considered as religious festival, where they have certain ritual to be performed. For Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, you have takbir, you have salat, repeated. Other than that, there is no religious festival. Traditional festival, yes. Country festival, yes. But not religious festival. When we talk about religion as a Muslim, we must always remember we have to have a reference. Without reference, we don't say that this is religious. You can say it's culture, tradition, a custom, but you don't say religious festival. Year 2013 has left us. Nothing to do with religion, but as a reminder. We know that the Quran is here to remind us. The prophets were sent to remind us. Scholars always remind us. Every Jum'ah, the Khatib will also remind all of us to be faithful to Allah, ittaqillah, to be obedient to Allah, to look into ourselves. Have we become better from one Jum'ah to another Jum'ah? Or we are still the same person from year to year, from month to month, from week to week? Are we still the same person? If we are still the same person with the same mentality, means we have not changed. And Allah has said in the Quran very clearly, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah, the all-powerful, the all-knowing, the all-seeing, with just two letters, He can do what He wants. There is the letter of Kaf and the letter of Nun. Kun fayakun. Be and is be. That's what Allah had to say. Be and is going to be. It's going to happen. But Allah, the all-powerful, He reminds us. If He wants to do, He can do anything. He can make everybody become Muslim. He can make everybody die. It's up to Him. But when it comes to our personal changes, He said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah Himself will not change the person or will not change the situation of a crowd, a group of people, until we want to change. Now we have to ask ourselves, 2013 has left us. As a businessman, we know that we will do a lot of checking to look into what have we profit from year 2013. What is our weaknesses? What is the failure? We want to improve because we do not want to have the same problem in 2014. We want to be a better person, healthier person, more successful, a better husband, a better father. We want to be the best if possible. But we have to look and reflect. If we fail in 2013, what is the cause of the failure? We must know. We cannot say, what can I do? What can I do? It's up to you whether you want to improve yourself or not. Have you become a more faithful servant of Allah from January 2014? Have we been communicating with Allah properly? Is our communicating with Allah, our salah is consistent? Do we perform 5-time prayer daily, every day? The minimum. I'm not focusing on the maximum. I'm just focusing on the minimum. Have we become a minimum Muslim example? Have we been truthful to ourselves? Have we been truthful to other people, our business partner, our neighbor, our wife, our children, everything, our boss if we're working? Have we been truthful to everybody? This is something that you can check within yourself, brothers and sisters. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always reminds us, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu taqullaha wa tanzur nafsun ma qaddamat lighad. Oh, you who believe in Allah, be faithful to Him and look into yourself. You must have a kind of what you call a test, to look into, check whether you have prepared yourself for your tomorrow. We have prepared ourselves, inshallah, 2014. Normally, we always do that. If we have failed 2013, 2014 we have to be better. A better businessman, a successful businessman. So it's time for us to look into our iman. Are we still having the same kind of iman like last year? Or we want to improve our relationship with God? We want to strengthen our iman. Our Prophet ﷺ reminds us how to strengthen your iman, because iman is the most valuable thing in the day of judgment. Without iman, there is no future. Without money, there is still some future. Without children, there is still hope. But without iman, no future. Number one, we know the Prophet said, لا تدخلون الجنة حتى تؤمنوا ولا تؤمنوا حتى تحابوا. Until the end of the hadith. No one can enter paradise without iman. The only thing that can qualify us to go to Jannah is only our iman. Not your gold, your silver, your business, your children, your iman. And no one can have a good iman without love. The power of love, number one, to love Allah. And that's why Allah put it in kuntum tuhibbun Allah. Say, O Muhammad, to the people who claim, I love Allah. All Muslims love Allah. But how many people who love Allah respond to this ayah where Allah said, Fattabi'uni. O Muhammad, tell the people who claim they love Allah, he or she must follow Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu teaching. We still have a lot of Muslims who abandon the Sunnah, who take the Sunnah of the Prophet lightly, they don't care. They thought that everything from the Prophet is optional, it's not wajib. Yes, there are some optional, there are also some that is wajib. Anything the Prophet command you is wajib. Anything the Prophet encourage you is Sunnah. You cannot generalize everything in Sunnah as optional. No. One example that I can share with you, brothers and sisters, if a person, a Muslim, said, anything from the Prophet is Sunnah, it's not part of Islam budget, then you can ask them, how many raka'at do you perform Fajr prayer? And what do you recite in your prayer? Do you recite Fatiha? Do you recite Tahiyyat? Do you give Salam? Of course they say yes. Is there any verses in the Quran say Fajr 2 raka'at? Why you perform 2 raka'at? Because the Prophet showing you that Fajr is 2 raka'at. Did the Quran say there is no prayer without Fatiha? La salah liman la Fatiha lahu. No prayer for people who do recite Fatiha. The Quran never said it. It's the saying of the Prophet, La salah liman la Fatiha lahu. Did the Prophet, the Quran say that you cannot complete your prayer without tashahhud or tahiyyat? No. It's the Prophet Sunnah that he taught us that you must end your prayer with tashahhud and then salam. And we know all this is wajib. It's part of you cannot abandon it. When you abandon it, your prayer is not valid. This is just one example. So it's very crucial for every Muslim today to have a good communication and connection with Allah Rabbul Alameen. And until today, a lot of Muslims fail to understand how to follow the Prophet ﷺ to perform their prayer. We have been praying to Allah. We have been making salawat. But how many Muslims today learn how to communicate with Allah by following Prophet Muhammad ﷺ? You don't care. When you don't follow the Prophet, see what the Prophet said in one of the hadiths. The Prophet ﷺ said, Kullu ummati yadkhuluna al-jannah. All my ummah, inshallah, will go to paradise. His hope, his prayer, illa man aba, except those who refuse. So the companion was surprised, and they asked the Prophet immediately, who are the group of Muslims, not the not yet Muslim? The Prophet is talking to his ummah. Kullu ummati, my ummah, will go to paradise except one group who refused to go. So the Sahaba asked, which group is this? The Prophet ﷺ answered, Man abani dakhala jannah. Whoever obey me, follow my instruction, follow my command, my sunnah, you will go to paradise. وَمَنْ أَصَانِي فَقَدْ عَدَى. Rawahu Muslim. Whoever refused to follow my sunnah, ignore my command, ignore my teaching, he is the group that the Prophet said, who refused to go to Jannah. So brothers and sisters, please try your best to look into yourself, because nobody can help us until Allah said He will not help anyone to change until we decide to change. Then Allah will help you. So you have to help yourself so that Allah will help you. You should help yourself so that your friend can help you. So it's time for us to look into ourselves. Are we serious to go to paradise? If you are serious, you have to do some changes. And one of the best way to save your iman, like what the prophets might have said, Man ahabba lillah, wa abghada lillah, wa a'ta lillah, wa mana'a lillah, faqad istakmala al-iman. The Prophet ﷺ said in Hadith Muslim, whoever loves what Allah loves, hate what Allah hates. If Allah said this is halal, then you go for halal. If Allah said this haram, you don't get involved in any haram. Even mutashabihat, gray area, you abandon it. and you give for the sake of Allah, anything that Allah wants you to infaq, contribute, sadaqah, zakat, give. But there are times that you cannot give. If people want to do something that is against Islam, people want to do the khurafat, the shirk, the bid'ah, you cannot support. Because it's against the command of Allah and the Prophet. To do something displeasing Allah and against the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you love what Allah loves, hate what Allah hates. Give for the sake of Allah in the right way. For people who love Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you must help them, and don't help anybody who go against Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَقَدْ اسْتَكْمَلَ الْإِيمَانِ. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you have this character with you, sifat, that you have a fine iman. You have strong iman. Your iman is okay. Simple as that. But if something haram, you don't feel bad. Something halal, you don't feel the urge to do it. That's so that your heart, your iman is weak. There is some problem, some disease in the iman. You have to rectify it before you do it. And again, last week, the Prophet ﷺ said that I like to share in my first khutbah. The Prophet ﷺ said, La iman liman la amanata lahu. There is no iman for people who have no amanah. Our life is an amanah. Yourself is amanah. And the Prophet said, وَلِنَفْسِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٌّ. Yourself have right upon you. You must look into yourself. Are you eating halal thing? Are you drinking halal drink? Do you do halal activities? Are you doing halal business? Everything you must check within yourself. Because you have control to yourself. You cannot say, what can I do? I am forced to do haram thing. Who forced you? Nobody forced you today. Do you lie in doing business? Do you cheat in doing business? If you do that, then you do the haram thing. This is one example to yourself. Do you smoke? Yeah, last time I smoked. 2013 I smoked. 2014 you still smoke. No more smoking. Halas. Qurban. You can only eat smoked salmon, yes. But you don't smoke yourself. Because you know smoking is haram. Anything that causes harm to you is haram. Why you waste money? Why you burn yourself? Why you destroy your health? Why you destroy your environment? Why you destroy your wife and your children? The third party who don't smoke. You cause harm to them. Amana. Your job is an amana. You have a job to take care. It's an amana. Do you take care of your job? Do you have amana? You must ask yourself. You must start work at 8 and end at 5. Are you here at 8? Do you leave after 5 or you leave before 5? Example. Your wife is an amana, and the Prophet said, "Khairukum khairukum li ahli wa ana khairu li ahli." The best man among my ummah is a man who loves his wife, who take care of his wife, who is good to his wife, because I am the best to my wife. You must ask yourself, have you been fair to your wife, kind to her? Do you love her in the Islamic way, or you love her in your own way? Do you love your children? Your children is amana. You pray. Do you remind your children to pray? You seek knowledge. Do you invite your wife and your children to seek knowledge? You must ask yourself. You don't want your wife and your children to seek knowledge with you. Never mind. With one reason. Whatever you learn, you go home and teach your wife and your children. You learn 1 hour, you teach them 1 hour. You want 2 hours, you teach them 2 hours. If you fail to do that, you bring them to the class so that they learn together. Everything is an amanah. The Quran is an amanah for you to read, to understand, to act upon it, and to share with other people. It's an amanah. If you read, you don't understand, you have failed. You understand, you don't act upon it, you become a hypocrite. And also, if you don't share with other people, you make khiyana. Because it's an amanah from Allah to you to convey the word of Allah to other people. We have not been doing that. Maybe until today, we as a Muslim, we don't even make one not yet Muslim become a Muslim yet. How can we do that? At least one Muslim must bring one not yet Muslim to Islam. Because that one is a responsibility of the ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's our duty to call people who are not yet Muslim to Islam. Show them the beauty of Islam. Show them the goodness of Islam. Show them the good character from us as a Muslim. Or you just think of yourself. You cannot do that, brothers and sisters. Because that one is fardu ain. You can't do with speech, you cannot talk with example. You must interact with the people with good character, al-akhlaq al-karima. Show them that Islam is haqq, that you are haqq. Then inshallah, Allah will give them hidayah. It's our duty, brothers. The sisters will have their responsibility to do da'wah. Because da'wah is not just the men. وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ. Man and woman believer, they help each other in doing anything that please Allah and in amal ma'ruf and nahi munkar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and protect us from greater fitna that we are exposing to from year to year to come, inshallah. Barakallahu lana wa lakum bil Quran al-Karim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikril hakim wa taqabbal minni wa minkum tilawatahu innahu was-sami'ul 'alim. Aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum wa li sa'iril muslimin kulli dhanbin fastaghfiruhu innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. Alhamdulillah hamdan katsiran tayyiban mubarakan fihi. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Qala Allah Ta'ala ba'da a'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu taqullaha wa qulu qawlan sadida yuslih lakum a'malakum wa yaghfir lakum dhunubakum wa may yuti'illaha wa rasulahu faqad faza fawzan 'azima. Wa ba'd. Dear brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, in my second khutbah on Jummah today, I would like to remind myself and all the good brothers and sisters who have been responding to the Jummah from Jummah to Jummah and also corresponding to Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that we have a lot of problems. He is the creator, the all-knowing, the all-seeing. Don't think that He do not know. And He knows what kind of problem we are facing. Every single thing that we have, every single problem that we face, He knows everything. So He is telling us, if you want Him to help you, you just have to do one thing. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu taqullaha wa qulu qawlan sadida. Or you will believe in Allah, have faith in Him, number one. You must have faith in Him. When you have faith in Him, He said to her, وَقُولُ قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. Be truthful. You must be truthful to yourself. You must be truthful to Allah. If you're wrong, you must say, I am wrong. And ask Allah for forgiveness. And you must acknowledge all the bounties from Allah. These two powerful words. Two powerful kalima that we need to practice in our daily life. Number one, anything good that you receive from Allah, every minute you open your eye, you don't forget to say Alhamdulillah. Thank you, O Allah. The power of shukr. That's why every day in the morning when you open your eye, the first thing that the Prophet wants you to remember is Allah. Alhamdulillahillazi ahyana ba'dama amatana wa ilayhi nusyur. All praise due to Allah who gives you life after your death. And again, at the end of the day, we are going back to Him. Not open your eyes to dunya. No, Allah first. Be thankful that you can see a new day. Be thankful that you are in a new year, 2014. Anything could happen to you, don't forget to say Alhamdulillah. Anybody who gives you something good, don't forget to say to him, Jazakallahu khair. Be thankful, be thankful. Children, you must be thankful to your parents who keep on supporting you, taking care of you, feeding you, give you food, provide you food, and then be thankful to your parents. And if you are thankful, your duty is Sami'na wa ta'na. I hear and I obey. That is the sign of a person who are thankful. Not I hear and I disobey. And if you do anything wrong to anybody, because for Allah, you do something against the Sunnah of the Prophet, you hurt your parent, you hurt your teacher, you hurt your friend, you betray somebody, immediately say, I'm sorry. To Allah, astaghfirullah. Shukur, be thankful, and then be humble and admit that you make a mistake. I'm sorry. Allah says, وَقُولُ قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. When you are truthful to yourself, Allah says, I will come and help you to solve your problem. وَقُولُ قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا يُصْلِحْ لَكُمْ أَعْمَالَكُمْ. I will come and help you to overcome your problem. وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ. And I'm going to forgive all your past sins. And whoever obey Allah and the Prophet ﷺ, at the end of the day, Allah promises you, you will be the successor. You will be the winner here and the hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us the people who are successful here and the hereafter, not only here. Ameen. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless His Prophet, the family of the Prophet and the companion. وصلوا على نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم كما قال الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما ويقول عليه أفضل الصلاة والتسليم من صلى علي مرة صلى الله عليه بها عشرة. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وارض اللهم عن الأربعة الخلفاء الخلفاء أبو بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن بقية أصحاب نبيك أجمعين والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسانه إلى يوم. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين. اللهم اهدنا جميعا إلى الصراط المستقيم. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيا الإسلام ومن توفيته منا فتوفاه على الإيمان. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك وعلى طاعتك. اللهم أعوذ بك من فتنة الحياة الدنيا وفتنة الممات. اللهم اهدنا جميعا إلى صراط المستقيم وارزقنا رزقا حلالا طيبا واسعا مباركا فيه. اللهم اجعل عملنا عملا صالحا مقبولا. اللهم زدنا علما نافعا. اللهم زدنا علما نافعا. اللهم زدنا علما نافعا ونعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع. اللهم طهر قلوبنا من النفاق والشرك والأعمال من الرياء وألسنتنا من الكذب وأعيننا من الخيانة إنك تعلم الخائنة الأعين وما تخفي الصدور. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والحمد لله رب العالمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروني ولا تكفرون ولذكر الله الأكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقم الصلاة.